Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at whatever we may have. This is for the 6-6 portal. So let's keep that in mind. We have a Queen of Pentacles. All right. We may have a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus feminine who will be the primary recipient of this message. This could just be somebody who's in their very grounded, earthy energy, but she definitely looks like she's kind of tucked herself on the other side of this wall. It feels like she's got this faraway look in her eyes. There's kind of a melancholy about her. Even her little monkey buddy is looking at her like, what's going on, mama? There's something here where I feel like she's reminiscing. Maybe she's tucking herself away and reminiscing. 10 of Cups sideways about a love lost. Okay, what about that love? What are they doing on the 6-6 portal? 8 of Wands, they're taking action. Who are they taking action toward? What are they doing? This could be somebody who wants to talk. You notice he's got his like javelin in his hand, but he hasn't, chucked it and released it yet. Knight of Coins. I said, who or what is he like about to, move toward? Knight of Coins says something he's been planning for a very, very, very long time. You know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is somebody who wants to send a message. Let's get one mutual message between them. What is the energy sitting between them right now? Knight of Cups. A lot of looking back at the past. The Knight of Cups here, we have somebody who rode away even though there was love. We have somebody who might have felt like the horse's back end. Look, but it's still upright. So the mutual energy between them is still wanting to move toward love. Okay, now let's change decks. Tell me about this Knight of Cups, this mutual energy. Hanged Man, all these delays. The love's there, but the delays are there too. Ace of Cups. The love is, oh my God. I'm not sure I understand this at all, because this is like the mutual energy is they both walked away from love, even though the love was still there. This has been a long time and neither one has moved on. They're just hanging there, just hanging in chrysalis mode. And the love is very much still like, even like the angels have protected this. I feel like this is two people that their lives have been on hold since they walked away from this. Why'd they ever walk away from this? I'm not sure I get it. 10 of Cups. It was too happy. We just couldn't do it. Too much happiness, too much joy. That doesn't track, right? This Knight of Cups again, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. It's my happiness that I want to go toward when someday I can. So maybe these two couldn't be together. Sorry, I'm hearing that song again in my head by Aqueduct called As You Wish. And it's actually a song that he wrote about Princess Bride, that film. And there's, all kinds of quotes from the movie in that song. But it's in it, like the refrain is true love waits, true love waits. And I almost feel like there's some energy here of no, we'll be together, just it couldn't happen now. It's going to be in divine timing. What was their major obstacle? Because life has kind of been in like a stasis for the two of them since they parted ways. 8 of Swords, the obstacle was literally, there's a gate between the two worlds, right? Here we have this wonderful castle, and obviously we have somebody on the outside of the castle gates. Why could somebody not cross into the other person's world? 9 of Pentacles, something about I wasn't energetically aligned yet. I wasn't personally abundant yet. I hadn't gained my personal autonomy. This is a single person's card. I couldn't enter until I felt good enough into your world, or I couldn't enter into your world until I was single. 4 of Cups, all kinds of regrets and illusions. There, in truth, there may not have been any reason that these two, were like, oh, I guess we can't be together yet, because the Four of Cups can be about illusions. Who had the illusions? Actually, let me change the way I'm asking this. Let's, and really, we don't need to go back in time at all, but let's just get one card and say, for our Queen of Pentacles, tell me how you viewed this in the past. He lied to me. He lied and he hid from me. Okay, for the seemingly masculine, the Knight of Coins over here with that Eight of Swords, or excuse me, Eight of Wands, how did you see it? Soulmate in the reverse. You saw it as, we're not soulmates. Or that's not somebody I can be with. Okay, wait, why did you think give me one more. Let me just zip it and let's just get the answer to that. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't have anything to work on, or I don't want to work on this. We're not soulmates. There's nothing I can do. Six of Swords sideways. I can't return to you. I can't get myself out of something. I'm stuck elsewhere. World card in the reverse. I can't have a new beginning. I'm right where I'm at. One more time. Knight of Wands. Ooh, all I could do is give you passion. I can't give you any kind of stability. So I'm not allowed back in your life. I can't say that we're soulmates, that I'll return to you, because I see nothing. I see no way that I can change my circumstances to be with you. I cannot leave. Maybe they had a family. I cannot leave a family. All I can give you is passion. Well, it looks like she summarizes pretty well then. This is a card of lying and cheating. It looks like that's what he was saying. I could lie and cheat to be with you, but I'll never offer you anything more than that. And yet, supposedly there was big love here. I'm having a hard time swallowing the fact that this was love, because it just doesn't feel that loving at the moment, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's go with a more complicated deck. Let's go with this one. Okay, so the mutual energy here was they walked away from this love. But I mean, maybe the reason I'm like, wow, this doesn't seem much like a love story to me. This seems horrible. Maybe it's because we're getting just that raw, blunt, she's like, he was sneaking away in order to be with me. And so, of course, even though I loved him and he loved me, this is no good. This is built on deception. Even if we're in love, there's some other situation or something going on that he's not going to leave. And so he has to leave me instead, because he won't leave the other situation. Again, it doesn't seem like love to me. It seems unpleasant, but let me ask, how is this a love story? The Tower and the Six of Pentacles, both sideways. I guess I would say because this somehow was an impossible situation. It was a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. Sometimes there aren't ways to step away from your current responsibilities without collapsing other people's lives, to have massive endings. It wouldn't just be you who's having an ending. It would be somebody else's. Okay, so this was a more complicated situation. So let me ask this. What's the deal with the, both of them saying that there's no way that he could have stepped into her world, right? Because he was still with someone. Bear in mind, he could be a she could be a he, doesn't matter what genders we're talking about. But this mutual energy of, I'm in love with you, you're in love with me, but not until divine timing comes around could this ever work. You want to give me something on that? We have a Nine of Swords and we have the Chariot sideways. And that thought has caused immense stress for so long. In fact, knowing that there's love that they can't access has been, particularly for one of them, like horrible. This feels really confining. This feels, and I'm going to say it's for him. Believe it or not, it's him that it's been way worse for him, knowing that, because it's kind of like he's staying in a place he doesn't want to be. He's also staying with a partner that I don't know what the situation is, but if he feels like he can't exit and he wants to, then he's feeling trapped in this very, very, very tiny space. But on top of that, the awareness of being trapped, the awareness of missing out on somebody that you love, and concurrently doing somebody that you love wrong by saying all I could ever give you would be passion, and I obviously you don't want me if that's all I can offer you. So like the acknowledgement of that, man, this has been bitter. This has been really, really bitter on him in this storyline. The divine timing, the oh yeah, sure, when is divine timing going to happen? Because in the meantime, I live in these tiny cell walls. King of Wands in the reverse. Okay, the one thing that the universe is kind of pulling him up short on is, hey now, are you contributing to your own issues? Because this says you're in a pattern, a selfish pattern, in fact. You're insisting that you can't do anything, and the universe is like, I didn't say that. Maybe you're staying and insisting that you're miserable and that you can't leave, but maybe you're the one stuck in a pattern and you have to grow beyond this pattern. Wait, universe, what is the encouragement there then? 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is about, like joyful union, reunion. 10 of Pentacles sideways. Knight of Coins upright. The Hanged Man. He's the one prolonging this. He could actually leave way sooner, is what the universe is saying. What do you mean? You could definitely have left this way sooner. It's not up to divine timing per se. You have a say in a lot of things, but with that indecisive energy, there must be some reason that he's staying, and it has to do with either money, it has to do with he's delaying the exit. All of this is him staying stuck and prolonging this. Okay, so we go, because we just came full circle, so we're right back, with that Knight of Pentacles. Remember, that's what he got, was Knight of Pentacles. And I said, what's going on the 6th? And we have this feminine kind of like lamenting being on the other side of this wall, thinking about this 10 of Cups relationship that never happened, and remembering he lied to me. Then we have him taking action of sorts that he's been thinking about taking for a very, 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 very long time. And again, what I would say is, yes, he could have taken action a long time ago, is what the universe is pointing out. You made the delays through your own, he had something that he had to grow through, right? So his delays, much of them had to do with his need to grow. Okay, so let's bring this back into, so on the 6th, we have him sending a message he's thought about sending for a really long time. 3 of Cups. So maybe he was afraid to reach back out to her all this time, and he's finally wanting to. We've got the Ace of Pentacles sideways. That's to try and, just, hi, how are you? I've wanted to talk to you for so long. This is not him officially saying, everything's different, can I start new with you? But 3 of Pentacles. So we have 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. We keep seeing him wanting a reunion, but still not saying anything about, straightforwardly, can I have a new beginning with you? The Hermit sideways. I think there's a lot of question mark as to whether or not she'll even speak to him. I think that it's like, if she doesn't want anything to do with him, he'll just like back away. And there's a lot of like, there's so much time has passed. So much time has passed in this. There's a lot of questions. Are you even alone? Can I talk to you? Would you want to talk to me? So his big message is basically like, I'd love to talk to you if you're open to it. I don't know what's gone on in your life, where you're at. I'd love to see you, engage with you. I don't know if you're alone or single. So it kind of feels like, all of those things rolled up into like some dialogue that he's taken forever to try to figure out how to even reach back out to her. This is probably the bit where the universe is like, what do you mean you procrastinate for a really long time? You could have reached out to her a long time ago, but didn't. you could have sent that message a long time ago, but couldn't figure out how to. Were afraid to find out maybe she doesn't want you anymore. So you procrastinated and got a little bit more bitter. It feels like he could have reached out a long time ago. That's not good. But again, maybe it is. Maybe it went the way it had to for who this person is. Knight of Swords sideways. He also, he wants to say, like, I thought about reaching out, like I've wanted to a whole bunch. Didn't know if I should. He's probably going to say that in this message. This is a message coming through on the 6th. And it's a message that he's probably had written for a very long time and didn't send and didn't send and didn't send because of the fear. What if it's over? There's so much fear. We got a great white hanging around behind him. He's holding the skull. He's like, what if I reach out to her and she doesn't even remember me? She doesn't respond to me. There's nothing. He's been more afraid to find out that the answer is get lost than to try and go and reconnect, is what it looks like to me. But on the 6th, he's sending this message. Let's just say, let's keep this a little bit simple and say, all right, so Queen of Pentacles, it looks like you're receiving a message from him. Knight of Wands in the reverse. She's going to say, well, at least it's not to be a, flirtatious message. Okay, I guess that's good. Page of Swords, 9 of Wands, but that Page of Swords is sideways. She's like, oh, he's just checking to see what's going on with me. Do I still hurt over him? That's not good. That's her assumption. He's checking to see if I still hurt over him. 4 of Pentacles in the Sun. She may actually say, that's all this message is. Now, her assumption is not quite right, but she seems to not want to say anything in return. She might even say, you know what? I don't need to respond to this joker. I'm happy I didn't end up with him. And for her, this might be the day she gets over it, because the way she reads his message is he's checking to see if I have somebody else. That's all he wants to know is, do I still hurt over him? That's not nice. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Lover's card. He just wants to know if I found somebody else. He wanted to come back to you. She doesn't read it that way. This is going to be a big old, like she doesn't get what he's trying to say because he didn't say what he needed to say from what I could tell. Final message on this, like advice maybe. We've got that Knight of Swords sideways. Boy, oh boy, if he sends a message, he may need to instantly clarify what that message was, because this is going to be over before it even gets a chance to get back off the ground. 7 of Pentacles. Remember when it's been such a long time, there's so much that should have grown. There's so many, I'm kind of thinking that the message here is, after all this time, you better show the growth that's occurred. There better be a difference in the way you communicate. There better be something different. Otherwise, she's going to shut you down so fast. This is more like the warning, like, oh gosh, if you send a message that you're not really completely straightforward about what you want, she's going to cut you out of her life. If you want harmony with somebody, you want them to maybe consider taking you back, consider that, oh my God, I've loved you all this time. There's so many mistakes, so many things that, all this time has passed and blah, blah, blah. He needs to actually say it all, or he will get nothing out of this. It will be the end of the road. So this could go either way. It all depends on how he handles it. But right now, this is like, whoo, the warning to him, like, don't go down the wrong road or you're missing out on this person. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.